Hello, hello. Good morning. It is Monday, June 22nd, 2026. I'm Manila Chan. Ted Rall will be with us in just a moment. For now, we'll say good morning to producer Robbie. Hi,
Morning. How
Robbie.
you? Hey, thanks for seeing you again.
Long 3-day weekend for Juneteenth. We forgot.
It's no real holiday anyway.
I know it's kind of weird because Joe Biden just decided on that. So I think we're all still like trying to get that into the lexicon that it's like, okay, Juneteenth is a holiday, a federal holiday. But sorry, we forgot, and we agreed when we began the show that we would take all federal holidays off, and so we did that, and we stuck to our word. So anyway, thank you for
Yep.
joining the TMI Show. You guys know that's producer Robbie. So we do this live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Please be sure to hit the like, the follow, the share, the subscribe button, all that good stuff to help our little show continue to grow. Ted's getting seated. I just wanted to say, because it's not a part of the rundown, not the stories that we're doing. There be Ted rolling away. Wanted to point out, in case it wasn't covered on Deprogram, Alan Greenspan dead at 100.
Oh, no shit.
Nothing of value is lost.
I have an Alan Greenspan story. So I had this job,
Please.
as you know. I was the editor of acquisitions and development at United Feature Syndicate in New York City. And when my predecessor was apparently a quirky lady, when God moved into her office, and every now and then I'd open a file, and there might be like a bottle of liquor, or a fifth of. So she was
a physical file.
Yeah, she was stashing booze like all over the office, right? I had my own private office.
One does.
And anyway, she had a speed dial on her old-fashioned office phone, were the ones with 20 different.
Yes. That you write like whatever on.
So they weren't listed who they went to. So wouldn't you be curious who they went to? So idly, so I called them, right? And then one of them was like, hello? And I'm like, who's this? And he's like, it's Alan. I'm like, Alan who? He's like, it's Alan Greenspan. Who is this? And I'm like, what? Oh. And then later I found out she was friends with Alan Greenspan. Yeah.
Maybe
so
she
I had
was
Alan
dating
Greenspan's
him.
number. And I was like, I explained, blah, blah, blah.
I took over for so-and-so. Well, he didn't marry Andrea Mitchell from NBC until like the late 90s.
Right.
So for all you know, Ted, she and Alan,
that's
quite the ladies' man.
That's actually entirely possible, because
it's possible.
My predecessor was a puta. She was boning Charles Schultz in my office. Yeah, she was his Lucy. She was yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cartoonist getting down like that
was in. I can do this all day long.
God.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Alive. Yeah, she was his Snoopy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So maybe she was, at one point, the thing for Alan Greenspan.
It's possible.
Because he was a bachelor for a very long time, Ted.
It's entirely possible.
You know how the ladies love the economists.
Yeah, that's one of your stranger attributes, but yeah.
Chicks are, we get turned on by weird things. And he was the Fed chair for a long time.
That's a major kink. That's all
he was the Fed chair for like 3 presidents, Ted. So
it's like I just imagine like the pillow talk about interest rates and yeah.
He actually had. I watched a whole eulogy thing for him on NBC, because again, he was married to Alan Greenspan, or excuse me, Alan Greenspan was married to Andrea Mitchell from NBC. So
which, by the way, was such a ridiculous conflict of interest. I mean, Andrea Mitchell should never have been able to work as a journalist. Ever.
No. Especially not reporting on economic stuff. But anyway, that's beside the point. Is they put together, they had one ready for those who don't know how this works. Alan Greenspan's 100. So usually when somebody hits like 75, we like journalists occasionally, your news director will direct you to start going through the rosters of anybody, any notable figures. If they're like in their 70s and, especially if they're
Update the draft obituary. Yeah.
yep, you just go through and update obits and get things ready because you gotta be the first to break it.
Yeah,
Like
you literally leave a blank for like
the dates.
who announced it, what the date
Right.
was, where it happened, and what the cause of death
Exactly.
was.
Fill in the blanks, but you basically put a whole obit package together. And so I'm sure they had this ongoing forever for Alan Greenspan because he was 100.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look,
But
he had a nice long life. I mean, no
oh yeah,
complaints, right?
I mean, come on. Served under 3, maybe even 4 into the 4 presidents.
Hmm.
And and apparently he got some of the ladies, including a TV news lady.
I mean, look, Andrea Mitchell was cute. She used to
I
be.
She's gotta be close to like 100 too, right? I mean, not no,
I
maybe
don't
not,
think
but
so. I think she's much younger than him. I bet she's like
oh.
78 or something like that. Well, I mean, that is
She's a
a
young
lot
thing.
younger. I mean, it is. Let's see. No
Okay.
judgment. I have no problem with this at
That's
all.
that's cool. They got married in, like, 98 or something like that, so, good on Alan Greenspan.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
yeah, you didn't hear
I mean,
that he passed away.
obviously a master of capitalism, so therefore evil. But otherwise,
And, of course, I just wanna
oh
comment.
yeah, she's 79 years old. She was
Oh, you
born
were
in
close.
yeah, she's
Oh, so
Trump's
she
age.
was,
She
like
was born in 1946. Yeah.
oh, so she's, like, 20 years his junior, like,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, look at Alan. As you would
She's
say,
born
the
in New
coxman.
Rochelle, just north of New York
Oh,
City.
oh,
She went to
as you
UPenn.
call them. What do you call them? You say a man is a coxman?
He's a coxman. Yeah. Not to be confused with a coxswain, which is the coxswain is the small person in the back of the crew boat.
Okay.
My my,
And then
my
I just
ex-wife was the coxswain at the Columbia crew team.
oh,
Right.
didn't know that was a thing. Okay, and I know this is not
Basically,
on
she
the
just sits, I
docket.
mean, it was perfect for her. She sits back there and yells at the others to work harder.
Well, perfect for a
Row,
first generation Chinese American.
row faster, bitches.
It's perfect. And not on the docket, but I just wanna say I was a bit surprised about Keir Starmer announcing that he was gonna step down after he had said he's not gonna step down and that I would
That was the
say
clue that he was going to step down.
I just wanna say I think he is the UK or England's Hillary Clinton, except he got to the seat because 'cause he's
I was
been
going to say
vying
better
for
looking though.
yeah, sure, I'm sure he looks better in a pantsuit, but he has been vying for that seat for, like, the past 10, 15 years, I mean, probably his whole career, and he finally got it, right? And then he just
You know,
fell flat on his face.
his problem was his name. I mean, a guy
Sir
named Keir
Keir
Starmer
Starmer?
is not supposed to be a English politician. He's supposed to be like the the bass guitarist for Deep Purple.
What? Keir
Keir
Starmer?
Keir Starmer.
I guess, like, Starmer could be a band name, but, like, he's like an English gentleman apparently, but, he's
Such a German name.
he's a well-to-do gentleman, from what I
Hmm.
understand, his
Hmm.
family, so, you know, but he's their Hillary Clinton, except he got to get into that prime minister seat, and,
Well, he had no ideas.
adios amigo.
The Brits were like, right now we need a lot of ideas. You got no ideas. You got to go.
Wait, no one lasts in that seat, man.
Oh, I
No one
know.
lasts a
I
full
was
term.
I always think that like what a like if you're in government and they come to you and they say, "Hey, Manila, you know, we'd like to put you up for the PM spot." It's like like your days are numbered the second you start, and
That
it's
means
going
they
to
want
end
you
in
out.
you're going to end up out there in front of number 10, looking like a douche. It's like, why does anyone take this job? It's like so incredibly
Well,
unpleasant.
what that means is everyone hates you
Right.
and they wanna get you out of government permanently,
There's
and then
no
you'll end up with a podcast like, head of cabbage, Liz
Liz.
Truss.
Mhm.
When
Somebody
I
gave her a show.
when I worked for Logan
Well,
Health,
she's kinda cute.
the clinic that people would always go to when it was time for them to
No.
go away to manage was endocrinology. Whatever it is, that clinic is just it is the kiss of death. Like it's horribly mismanaged. The doctors there are rude. And there was this lady, she was in charge of the coders
It's like
back when
hormones are where you go to
no,
die.
pretty much back, no, back when Kizzy was working there. And she got her position by being in a position with doctors who she would sleep with them with various positions. So naturally, you're able to work your way up in the Kamala Harris
Oh,
model to the point that this
oh,
doesn't work anymore. Well,
okay.
when she got sent to endocrinology, she called me up and said, "Robbie, should I be worried?" I said, "Yeah, you're done." I said, "You cannot." I said, "You cannot screw your way out of this one. Like you are done." I
Oh,
said, "What does that mean?"
wow.
It means that your
You have to quit.
stupidity has finally caught up to you. Like you cannot do this. It's like, well, can you help me? I said, I could, but I will not. I will enjoy watching you hang.
Why would you say that to your wife?
I didn't say it to my wife. I said it to my wife's former boss who got
Oh,
promoted.
Oh,
oh,
you didn't you didn't articulate that right, Robbie.
I
I
didn't
thought you were
Yeah,
understand that. I
talking
was
yeah,
about
like,
no,
"You
your
said
wife.
that to your wife? Like,
no,
that's
no,
terrible."
no. She was my wife's boss, and
Uh-huh.
basically,
Oh,
so she started coding like a couple of months before Kizzy did, and she just kept
oh,
getting promoted. And she's like, "What's going on?"
Mhm.
And of course,
oh, that
me,
makes more sense.
I mean, y'all know me. I'll talk to anybody. Oh yeah,
Oh, so you're
well,
saying she banged her way up the promotion ladder?
100%. Yeah, I'll call her Jessica because that was her name. And anyway, to
Oh my
pull a
god.
Tedism, and yeah, she got promoted by spreading her legs to the right doctors and just kept working her way up. And I use that term deliberately because there's work and then there's work. And so she worked. So she worked the system till it got to the point where results actually mattered more than the quality of what you're
Oh,
able to
I
do in the bedroom.
see.
So she
I
promoted
see.
herself into a real job.
She promoted herself
Oh,
past her point of ability.
Correct.
I
And
see.
so
I see.
then she was sent to endocrinology, and she was just a very she was
She
just
was promoted like the Peter principle, right? Up to her level of incompetence.
100%. And so then she reached out to me, and because Kizzy and her hated each other, and I was doing all of
Oh,
the scanning stuff for endocrinology, and she's like, Robbie, it's like Dr. D'Souza and the other doctors just love you. I said, yes, because I'm good at what I do. I said, well, can you help me? I said, no, because you're not good at what you do. You're stupid. And while I could help
and
you, I
trust
would
Always,
not
us,
do so.
Rob, we've
always the
heard
charmer.
Robbie talk to people like this at work.
Always the charmer. All
That
right, we
this
have
is why
stories. Let's go.
this is why I should be hired as a diplomat.
Oh, for
Turning on
sure.
the Southern charm, as
Well,
you can see.
if we're looking to start any wars with anyone and make it look like they started it, that's the play.
All right. So that's okay, that makes more sense. And that's how she got
Yes,
fired, right? It was she got put
yes.
into endocrinology, and that means you're on your way out.
That is the kiss of death. Like if you go to
Yeah.
endocrinology, if you're working for Logan Health, you're done. Like
Well,
you have the shelf life of a mayfly.
such is the case for anybody in UK politics. You don't want to be prime minister because it means your political career is over. If you have to go live at number 10 Downing, you're donezo.
It's so weird. I mean, because like in the US, you're set, right? Like if you've been president, even if you're fucking Jerry Ford, you were president. You can be college
You
president
get
somewhere.
bragging rights.
Well, and someone will hire you. I mean, you'll be like,
Yeah, yeah.
hey,
You'll sit
I
on
mean,
some board somewhere and
he
make
was
shit tons of money,
right, right. You can't go wrong.
but
Even vice president.
that's not true for the British. So like where's Rishi Sunak other than being married to like
I guess it
practically
could
an
be
Indian
worse. You
princess?
could be Pakistani prime minister, which means you will be
Well,
arrested
that's
at
true.
least and tortured and put
That's
on
true.
trial and jailed, and you might be killed. I mean, there's a strong chance of that. Right. That's
Oh
also like
man.
one of those like, oh, good news for you. You will be the new prime minister of Pakistan. Like, oh fuck, I like my life too much. No, no.
What are
Or
the
you
odds,
get
Ted?
shot when you're sticking your head out of the Land Cruiser waving at
Exactly.
people.
Yeah, what do you think, Ted? The odds are that that the Brits will import that part of culture from Pakistan, where they just start
Oh, very,
just
very,
whacking
very,
people.
very, very little. They, aside
No.
from the colonial legacy and the fact that the Pakistanis still have their army, they still have those guys who wear like the feathers on their hats and shit. They, there's no, the Brits and the Pakistanis temperamentally are not similar, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
All
the
right. With
Pakistanis
that,
they control London, so I mean
The
anything can happen.
Pakistanis
well,
are very high
that's
strung
now.
people. They're like 5 seconds away from a riot at any given time.
Very different than the Indians.
Yes.
Like very different.
Well, the
Ve
Pakistanis are dour. I spent a month in Pakistan once, and after I crossed the border at that very famous border crossing at Lahore, where they have
Mm.
these like performances between at the end of the day when they close the border, where the Pakistan there's bleachers and the Pakistani and Indian border guards in all their regalia come out and they see who can kick the highest and who can like do the most spirited presentation, and both sides cheer on like "fuck India, fuck Pakistan," and like
Fuck you. No, fuck you.
and so and then anyway, I crossed that border, but none of that was happening. It was like totally empty in the middle of the day, blazing hot. You could just hear bugs, making bug sounds, and this Pakistani guy escorts me to the border, which is painted on the road, and then hands me off to his Indian counterpart. And the Indian guy starts walking with me, and he goes, "It is, it's got to be like 110." He goes, "It is too cold." And I realized that it was okay. Of course, like the worst joke ever, but the first joke I had heard in 4 weeks, because Pakistanis don't.
Yes.
There's no. They can be lovely people, but they're not funny. You know what I mean? Like they
Yes.
just
No,
don't
it's a
fucking. They don't joke around. The Indians are
we
very
gotta move
warm.
on. We gotta move on. But yes, that is true, Robbie. So the Pakistanis are very high strung and very
Dour.
like, yeah, like
They're really not
I
a
would
lot of
say
fun.
no, they're very like serious and like I don't know, not
Yeah.
I know several of Pakistani people and several lots and lots of Indians because there are a lot of Indians. Um, but
1.3 billion.
but
Maybe
they
the
are
petition was a
generally
mistake.
really, really nice and funny and like
Oh, partition
very
was a
too
disaster.
chill, too chill, too chill to the point that you're like, can you please hurry and like do something,
When
do
you're in
XYZ?
when you're in India, Robbie, people, Gandhi's on the money, right? And people look at him and they're like, "Fuck that guy," because he was the architect of partition. And they're like, "That asshole, like fucked up, like led us to all these wars,
We should do an
ethnic
episode about
cleansing."
this.
Like they hate
We can get
Gandhi.
VK on. He's Indian.
I
We
wonder
we
how he
can
feels
oh,
about
that's true. We could do a whole
a
episode
lot of
seriously
Indians
on,
in
like,
India
India and
hate
Pakistan,
Gandhi.
like, the good, the bad, the ugly, but anyway. Okay, we gotta move on. Still no ads, Robbie, to
No,
put up?
no ads.
Okay. Alright, let's get on to the hot topics of du
Hot
jour.
topic. All right, let's do it.
That's only for, overweight Latina goth chicks. If you
You're
know, you know, Ted.
that's arousing though.
If people know, if you know, you know.
If you know, you
Alright,
know. If you don't know, you don't
so
know.
in World Cup news, Ted, we gotta talk about World Cup. Norway saw America's food supply and packed accordingly. Norway arrived at the World Cup with more than 1,000 kilos. I don't know, 2,000 pounds? Is that 2,000 pounds?
Yeah, that's right. 2.2
Okay.
kilos, 2.2 pounds
Oh,
per kilo.
okay. Okay, so they came to the US with 1,000 kilos of their own food, including fish,
Let's eat.
brown cheese. I don't know what brown cheese is.
Mm.
And thousands of oranges. Officially, this is about athletic performance. That's what they say because they don't want to offend the host country. Unofficially, it feels like an entire nation looked at America's food supply and said, hard
It,
pass.
your food sucks ass.
The Norwegian team says it wants players eating familiar foods during the tournament, which makes sense.
That
Elite
does make
athletes
sense.
don't Yeah, elite athletes don't spend years training their bodies just to gamble on airport nachos and mystery oils and whatever cheese product That's a thing that we have here in the States. Whatever that means under US labeling law, America may be hosting the world's biggest sporting event, but it's also the land of ultra processed everything. Corn syrup in places corn syrup has no business being, and ingredient lists long enough, probably long enough like a CVS receipt, Ted.
Right. No, I mean,
Like,
look, the thing is, at high level athletics, I mean, what you eat is super important, right?
oh, yeah.
I mean that's it's absurd to think that like that wouldn't matter. I mean, you're
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
every little thing, so of course you care
You're
about
watching your
this.
macros, man. So Norway brought their own provisions. There's something deeply funny about a soccer team crossing the Atlantic with enough fish and cheese to outlast a medieval siege. But there's also a point buried under that salmon, Ted. For many international visitors, American food is not just abundant,
It's
it's
garbage.
it's suspiciously engineered.
It's disgusting.
Genetically modified crops, additives, preservatives, growth hormones, dyes, and industrial scale processing have made the US food system incredibly efficient and increasingly mistrusted. Now, to be clear, Norway's decision is mostly practical. Teams routinely travel with their own chefs and carefully controlled meal plans. But the symbolism is hard to ignore. In a tournament where every advantage matters, Norway decided the safest strategy was not simply training harder, it was avoiding the American snack aisle. And they oh gosh, who did they beat this weekend? It apparently worked well for them because these dudes didn't have any tummy trouble, Ted, because oh god. You know, when you go and eat like foreign foods, like can you
Oh yeah,
imagine having
there's
tummy
difference.
troubles?
Oh my god, no, you'd be laid low, you'd be fucked,
Ooh.
right?
Or Ted, imagine if like half the team got like food poisoning or something.
Oh, the
Like,
worst.
oh my god. So this is the freaking World Cup. So yeah, you would control your food supply that you know works for your team, right? So
Of
on
course.
the practical point, yes, that makes a lot of sense. But I couldn't help but acknowledge this. It was their Norwegian subtle way of being like, your food in America sucks ass and we know it and we don't want our elite
And
athletes
frankly,
eating your
we
shit.
and we know it too.
We know now we do. And that's the thing. Like, and that's one of the reasons like I was happy about RFK Jr. getting in there in
He
Maha and
hasn't
like
done shit though.
he has though. He's taken like we're getting rid of red dye 40. That's going out of foods already. Coca-Cola and Pepsi and all these like soda manufacturers are turning it into we're gonna get Mexican Coke here,
Yeah,
Ted.
that's good, but these
We're
are
gonna get real
minor
sugar.
things. All all super processed foods should be banned immediately.
Like, I don't know. I know he has said it many times that like, the everything is captured, right? Our big ag is captured, big food is captured. Like they captured
He seems to be
the
captured,
agency.
you know?
I feel like there's only so much you can do this quickly in a year. I'm happy that there's any movement. I'm big
Yeah,
on,
but he
like
should be bringing us
good
up to
eating.
speed. He should tell us what he's up to.
Yeah, I feel like he's been oddly quiet, but I don't know why. If that's
I
because
know why,
Trump is making him?
yeah, it's the capture. It's big food. Like they're just basically telling him, "Shut the fuck up."
Well, because I think McDonald's sponsors Trump, right? His Big
Well,
Macs and Diet
yeah,
Coke.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, Trump literally has, and you guys might think I'm joking, but you can look it up. Trump has like an easy button for Diet Coke.
yeah, yeah. He
He has
does.
like instead of like the medical, like help, I've fallen and I can't get up button, he like carries
Oh yeah,
a
a
Diet
case
Coke
of
button.
emergency. Yeah.
He has a Diet Coke button that he carries around. So when he walks around the White House, he just like presses boop and like the butler brings a Diet Coke.
That's true.
It's
Yeah, it
true.
is true.
So
It is
anyway,
true.
that's
And
our food.
well, that's like he's the equivalent of who was that? That Matt Lauer who had the button that he
Oh,
in his demonic like
his
Epstein style
dungeon
lair,
dressing room.
yeah, where he would lock the door
That's
when
creepy.
a
Oh,
tasty morsel was there that needed to be gobbled up by him.
oh, one last thing about the World Cup, Ted. Um, So there's this controversy about this Croatian chick that out in Texas, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Um, she's getting a lot of hate. This young lady here,
Mhm.
she's getting a lot of hate up in Texas when
She looks
Croatia was playing.
very intelligent.
She's apparently a big Croatia fan, and she's an
She's
Instagram model.
definitely a big something.
So, this last game, this last match that she was at, this is her covered up, Ted.
Mhm.
The last
Well, she
match
is
in
covered up. She
Texas,
just has big
she
tatas.
no, no, the last match that she was
She's not like, violating any laws or anything.
well, no, I agree. However, my oh man, it's stuck here. It won't I gotta refresh the page. Um, but the last match of Croatia versus whoever, I don't know, she was apparently wearing, like, strings.
Well, let's see.
I'm trying my it's frozen, it won't show it. There was
Maybe it's
video.
I
She
will
broke my internet. But she was wearing, like, basically strings, and and internet sleuths were trying to figure out who she was
mm.
in Texas because people were mad. They were like, "There's children present. That's inappropriate what you're wearing." So she got a lot of hate, and people figured out who she was. And whatever her name is Ivana Ivana or Ivanka Knoll. Ivana Knoll. She's a
Ivana
Croatian.
Knoll. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. She's a Croatian chick. So I'll show you her Instagram. That's her after she's covered up.
Oh, I'm
But
I'm I'm seeing some of the other pictures here. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, in the pictures that she's getting, like,
Okay,
a lot
I
of
am
hate
looking at the
on.
other ones, and obviously she's more exposed in these other pictures.
Yes.
But honestly, she's not breaking any laws. I mean, she's
I agree, I
she's
know,
walking
I
right
know.
up to the edge, but she doesn't cross it. I
I
mean,
I agree, but apparently some Texas moms were really pissed off, and they were like,
ah,
"This is
fuck
not the outfit."
fuck them. Like,
She was
what
wearing,
are they,
like,
the fucking
string
Taliban?
things with,
I
like,
mean,
pasties and whatever, and they were shading on this Ivana Knoll chick. I mean, she's a hot chick, and she's not, like, chill out, Texas moms. Chill out.
well, it's also like, look, I hate to say it. I've observed this on numerous occasions in the news that every now and then you get a story like this about very busty ladies who don't cover themselves very much, and then like there's all this outrage. I gotta say, sometimes you get like Paris Hilton-y, like little, like small-breasted ladies, and if they're not covering themselves up very much, it doesn't have the same effect at all. Like on the red carpet at
Oh,
the
I see what you're saying.
Oscars, if there's like scantily clad, like little boobies, and they're
Right.
almost popping out, even if you see some areolae. It,
But if you're busty,
but if you're busty, they hold it against you. I think it's a jealousy thing.
as inappropriate.
I think it's a jealousy thing. I bet you these Texas moms, they don't have like big, bodacious double D tatas at all. I bet these are flat chested, like
Or
jealous,
just dowdy,
jealous Janes.
soccer moms.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Like, I'm all for this. I'm like, "Go for it, girl. You look
there is a
great."
double standard. You can be wearing like a string bikini in public, and if you're like an A cup, you're not going to catch any shit. You're double, triple
Robbie says,
D's.
"I bet those are fake." Gee, you think, Robbie?
You can tell they're fake from the shape.
They're too cartoonish, like
It's the shape.
cartoonishly
The shape
perfect.
you can tell by just the shape's not right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But look, she's hot, she's young, she's hot, and she's a big soccer fan. And she, like, creates a ruckus where she goes and
I mean,
whatever
so for
though,
me,
like,
like
I'm not
it's
bothered
funny
by
what
hot
causes
chicks.
offense. I look at it, I see that checkerboard pattern, and I think of World War II and the fascist Ustashi, who the government of Croatia.
Oh,
Croatia is analogous to Ukraine in that it has a Nazi problem, and
oh,
like it has a Nazi heritage that it has never, let go of, and it's so
I see a picnic pattern.
that pattern is a fascist flag from World War II.
No kidding. See, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I just
It's
see a
the
picnic
Ustashi.
pattern. I see picnic or, like, like a picnic, like a tablecloth. Like I don't see history behind that, but I didn't know there was history behind that pattern. But
Yeah, so those are
you know,
fascist titties.
oh well, those are great fascist boobs,
Yeah, they're excellent fascist breasts. Yeah,
and she's a pretty lady. And the Texas moms need
she's
to
obviously
chill.
got a
It's the
little
World
work,
Cup.
right? Like that's like
Who
those are
cares?
not like natural lips, right?
Who cares what she looks good. End of the day, the the end product. That's all. She's not overdone. She's done, but she's not over. She looks
She's
good.
overdone. She's totally
No,
overdone.
but
But
she's not
whatever.
like
Mind your
cat
business.
lady,
Mind your
you
fucking
know.
business.
Right. I think she looks great. Shake what your mama gave you or you bought or
what,
whatever.
what, you, what, you, what you purchased. Yeah.
Whatever. She looks great. I don't hate on hot chicks. Like I don't hate on strippers. I don't hate on prostitutes. I don't care. Like if you look good, whatever.
She's
Anyone
not
shading on
breaking
her
any
is like
laws. Is the way I look at it.
that's the thing. The Texas moms are like there
Yeah, I
needs to
mean,
be a
I gotta
dress
say
code.
honestly, I gotta say on yeah. I mean, Robbie was saying she's not that hot. I'm with Team Robbie. I mean, um, not it's like look, if if it were if I woke up in the middle of the night and she were sitting on my face, would I complain? No, but like not my type, really. It's kind of like
Well, no, there's a type, but
I
then
don't like
there's,
that sort of intentional skank kind of thing.
that look. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But I think there are a lot of ways a woman can be hot, and this is
Sure.
probably the typical way. And, if you're into that Maxim model type,
Yeah.
Instagram model type,
Whatever.
this is it.
All
So,
right.
all
Okay.
right.
We got
We
to
done
keep going.
we done with the fascist titties.
All
So
right. All right. All right.
move on.
I mean, if we have to have fascism, that's the form we should have it in. The robots have arrived. They're small, polite looking, and apparently very good at getting in people's way. Across several cities, delivery robots are becoming a more common sight on sidewalks. I've never seen one. Carrying food and groceries to customers while quietly testing how much tolerance people have for sharing their space with rolling coolers on wheels. The appeal is obvious. For companies, robots promise cheaper deliveries, fewer human drivers, and a futuristic selling point. Now, do not quote Ted Rall on this. Ted Rall is not saying that if you happen to see one and there's no cameras around, that it would be bad to fight the machine and kick them over and vandalize them and set them on fire. I'm totally against that because we should not, as human beings, be defending our jobs against these horrible
Wait, but they
machines.
have their own cameras on them, don't they?
Oh,
They
well,
have like body
so
cam.
don't disable with spray paint those cameras and don't wear balaclavas as you attack and
Oh,
gloves so that
good idea.
don't do that at all. Do not do that.
We are not advocating violence on the
No,
TMI show.
you should totally tolerate the takeover of all things that are good and decent by these profit centers for evil capitalist fuckers. All right, anyway.
Don't do violence on robots.
No, no. Robots are people too. Anyway, for customers, they offer convenience without much interaction. Order food, wait a few minutes, and a little machine shows up like a lunchbox with GPS. But residents and city officials are beginning to push back. The issue is that sidewalks are already crowded with pedestrians, strollers, wheelchairs, scooters, dogs, outdoor dining, and delivery workers. Add slow moving robots, and suddenly the public sidewalk starts to feel like a tech company's obstacle course. Critics say machines block paths, well, objectively true, create hazards for disabled pedestrians, also objectively true, and turn public space into private infrastructure for delivery companies, also objectively true. Supporters argue that they reduce traffic, cut emissions, and provide a useful service, especially for short trips. I guess those things are true, but I don't know how important they are. The debate is about who gets to use the sidewalk. Sidewalks used to be treated as basic civic space, people walking, waiting, meeting, passing through, although there were also controversies in the old days about like newspaper boxes and newsstands and stuff like that. Now they're becoming contested territory for commerce, transportation, and automation. So the question is, who gets priority? I think it's very simple. If these companies want to do this, they should have to pay a fee to the municipality to at least offset the inconvenience and the wear and tear on public infrastructure. You want to use
Mhm.
public infrastructure, you should pay for it. I mean, if you were trying to, if you're an airline and you want to rent a gate at the airport, you have to pay. I mean, if you want to add on the side of your subway of the metro, you have to pay. You want to open a candy stand in the DC Metro on the platform, you have to pay. Like it's like they should pay. Like you're using public space
Stormborn
that's paid for by tax dollars.
Stormborn in the chat says they are all over campus here at University of Wisconsin. I almost ran over one. Um, so I
Wow.
wonder if maybe I didn't know
College
they were like
campuses are
deployed
often a
everywhere.
testing ground for new technology.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not convinced that they really necessarily are going to reduce emissions that much. I mean, yes, an individual cooler uses a lot less power than a car, let's say, but a car can make multiple stops. I mean, a car, like a delivery dude can bring like 16 pizzas in one trip to a bunch of different places. The each cooler goes out individually, comes back
Per time.
per trip,
Well,
right?
you know what they could do, Ted,
This is just about
if
not
they
hiring people.
for if yes, it is. For efficiency though, if I'm gonna root for the empire here, it it would be make it a big tall one like a
Mm,
delivery locker, and then you're provided a code to get your
right.
food out.
Yours is number 4. You're in shelf number 8. Right.
Right. You're in the little your food box is number 4,
It's
and
the
here's the
equivalent
code.
on wheels. Have you seen outside apartment buildings? Some apartment buildings, I've seen them in New York. They have like the Amazon, a big
Oh,
giant
yes.
like
Locker.
wall of lockers, and then like if
Yeah,
you get something from Amazon, you're
that's
told
right.
your package is in box
Locker
number
number
14, and
whatever.
here's the code. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I mean, I don't know if they've thought about that, and I may have just given Silicon Valley an idea if they hadn't thought about it. But, I mean, if you're gonna take up space, like, why have this little
A,
small
a
one.
bunch of little ones.
Right, a bunch of small ones that are gonna get in the
Why
way of
not just
people
do a
like me
Waymo?
with small children.
Why not do like a Waymo style truck that goes around and yeah.
Right, and tell the people to come
Well, I
out
guess
curbside.
these can go up to the door. That's the difference.
Well, I think if you're trying like, I don't think the sidewalk is a great place because I have I think about these things because 1, I have small children, which
Also,
they
you could be
can
told
run
like
over.
you could get it. You could totally have it where it texts you and says it will be there in 1 minute. Please go outside, and then you just walk out to your curb and get it.
Right, is you should go curbside, like, you should just do a Waymo car with, like, a truck that has, like, a locker, like an Amazon locker, and you know
Mhm.
your code, your food is in your Chipotle is in locker number 7, here's the code, go curbside to go get it, like, I know we are fat, lazy,
By the
disgusting
way, fuck
Americans,
Waymo too. I can't. I mean, like
but
they want to
come
bring Waymo
on,
to New York City, right? Fucking Waymo, right?
no
It's
way.
owned by Google, by the way. People don't know
Is
that.
it?
It's Google. Yeah.
I
So
didn't know
like,
that,
I
I
mean,
thought they
so
had their
and so
own.
literally, it's like it's going in. You're literally when you do this, you're not only putting hardworking taxi drivers out of work,
Yeah,
and but on
which
top of
Ted was.
which I was. And on top of that, you're also pouring profits into the pockets of this insanely evil giant mega corporation.
Right. I didn't
But
know it was
anyway,
Alphabet.
so it's hilarious. You know what they offered New York City to compensate for the fact that like the taxi industry was going to die if Waymo came to New York? They offered the city $20 million to compensate the cabbies.
That's it?
There are at least 15,000 taxi drivers in New York City. Okay. So, um, like, basically, imagine $20 million. That's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
$2 billion doesn't even begin to cut it. Like, you'd have to talk about $20 billion to start making a dent and compensate all these people for losing their jobs. They're not doing it.
Yeah, yeah. There's just I don't think on the sidewalk issue, I don't think humans should share in the future. Just imagine hundreds of these little fucking cooler boxes
Oh,
driving itself around.
just and Manila, you know what's
No.
next? The air drones.
Oh, fuck that. They're gonna
You
fall
know
out of
I'm
the
right. You
sky,
know I'm right. They're gonna
conk
be like,
you in the
it'll be like,
head.
coming in like, and it's gonna be like you won't be able to live out even in the country. There'll be no fucking peace and quiet because someone's
Right.
fucking air drone, and you're not even
I see
allowed to shoot them
danger.
down when they go over your property. You know that they're
Yeah,
covered.
you have airspace rights to a certain
Yeah,
height
but they're
above your
covered
home.
by the FAA. They're protected. So even if you live on a farm in the middle of Montana, a if a fucking drone goes over your house and you shoot it down, you can be prosecuted.
I don't know. Your realtor Manila remembers studying that you have X amount of
Yeah,
like ground rights beneath
only up
your
to like 500 or 1,000 feet.
right, and X amount above your home,
Yeah,
above your property. You have X amount of
if they go really
headspace.
low, you can like whack them. Otherwise, no.
Yes. So that's why I'm like, that's a
Everyone
tough
should
one.
shoot them down.
That's private property though. But this being on public property on the sidewalk, you're going to bump over, it's going to bump into like strollers or little kids learning to walk or like
Sure.
no, like that's not safe. I imagine there are
I don't even
accidents waiting to
care if it's
happen.
not safe.
Horrible.
It's fucking annoying, you know?
It would be annoying. Imagine a bunch of rolling newspaper stands. That's what I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the sidewalks are
I gotta say
crowded as it is.
that shit's not gonna play in New York. Remember
It's
remember how we talked about the trash the
yeah.
RoboCop trash cans and like
Yeah.
they lasted about 10 seconds. Everyone pushed them in front of subway trains. Oh, goodbye, officer friendly. See ya.
God bless New Yorkers.
Watch the closing
Rage
door.
against the machine, man. Rage against the machine.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. All right, here's this one, Ted. When is someone too old to keep doing their job? A 98-year-old federal judge just forced the question. Most Americans will never work into their 90s unless you're Alan Greenspan. Federal judges are different. This week, or last week rather, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear an appeal from Judge Pauline Newman, age 98, a federal appeals court judge who had been suspended from hearing cases since 2023 amid concerns about her mental fitness. The decision leaves her suspension in place and effectively ends, for now, her effort to return to the bench. Newman is no ordinary judge. Appointed by President Ronald Reagan in 1984, she became one of the nation's leading experts on patent law and is widely respected in legal circles. Even critics acknowledge her enormous influence on American intellectual property law over the past 40 years. The controversy began when colleagues on the federal circuit cited reports of memory problems,
Mm.
confusion, and other concerning behavior. The court launched an investigation and ultimately suspended Newman after concluding she had refused to cooperate with requests for medical evaluations and other inquiries into her fitness to serve. Newman fiercely disputes those allegations, though. She argues that she remains mentally capable and that federal judges enjoy lifetime appointments under the Constitution. Her supporters contend that allowing fellow judges to sideline a colleague creates a dangerous precedent that could threaten judicial independence. Some have described the suspension as a form of, quote, stealth impeachment because Congress, not other judges, traditionally removes federal judges from office. The case raises a question that extends far beyond judiciary. How old is too old? America is grappling with that issue across government, businesses, medicine, and academia. Advances in healthcare mean more people remain active and productive into their 80s and 90s. At the same time, aging affects people differently. Some 90-year-olds remain remarkably sharp. Others experience significant decline years earlier. The challenge is that the challenge is that age itself is a poor test. That's true. Few people would want a mandatory retirement age that forces highly capable individuals out of work simply because of a birthday. But few would argue that lifetime appointments should be completely immune from concerns about cognitive decline. Judge Newman's case sits directly at the uncomfortable intersection. The Supreme Court's decision doesn't answer the question of when someone becomes too old to serve. It simply leaves the country still searching for a fair way to decide. Now,
Mhm.
it her colleagues say that she refused to do a mental fitness eval and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
She declines that ever happened. She denies that ever happened.
Mhm.
Maybe she doesn't remember that she did not declined it, or
Well,
I don't
she
know. I
should
mean,
just be lying too. Who knows?
she could be lying. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one, Ted. Like, you're 98 years old. I mean, if I were her, I mean, I would think she has great-grandchildren at that point, but I mean,
Sure.
I
Although not necessarily. I mean, she might not have had kids. I don't
yeah.
know. Look, it's an interesting question. Legally speaking, if the Constitution provides lifetime employment for judges, then she's in the right.
Yeah.
But the fact is, anybody who's been through the legal system has encountered some judges who are not mentally fit. In many cases, who are too old to serve, and there doesn't, and as it is, judges are basically the emperors of their little fiefdom. Like if they
Yes.
rule against the law, there's really kind of like very
Yeah.
few ways to get like a correct ruling. If a judge turns out to constantly be biased for one side or another,
Mhm.
there's really no remedy for that.
There's no
Um,
recourse.
you should be able. There should be some kind of review board, some kind of impartial. I don't know if it's that other judges, maybe not. Maybe it's like the Bar Association does it. Maybe Congress creates a new board that evaluates judges. But it's a very complicated question because you don't want to get into the business of removing judges who should not be removed, for example, because you don't like their politics or whatever. You could easily imagine Trump using an institution like this to get rid of judges he didn't like because of the way that they ruled.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure.
there's all sorts of problems here. Now that said, there's also this problem of judges who are too fucking old. When I sued the LA Times, I had a judge retire on me. They assigned me a new judge. They called him a substitute judge, which was he was a retired judge who they brought back. Basically, they called him back and said, "Hey, listen, dude, we'll give you a little extra money, and they
Oh.
do this, right? So they come back. They were very short-handed at the courthouse in LA, at LA Superior Court, and they brought him Judge. We'll call him Judge Kalin because his name was Judge Kalin, and he was asleep much of the time during my case.
He did a Biden?
He said he was totally like Bidening out, and also he said things that were completely outlandish. I mean, like when he took over my case at the first hearing,
God.
the papers, the physical papers for my case, were piled approximately 4.5 feet high. He said, "I read these yesterday." And I mean, I looked at my lawyer. My lawyer
He
wasn't
might be a
even.
voracious reader.
Yeah, I was like, "Are you like Data in Star Trek?" I mean, are you AI? Because I'm like, no human being could possibly, right? I mean, it's not. It's just not
I
possible.
read these all yesterday.
It's like I was like, you have no fucking idea what my case is about, and it was very clear. I mean, and he made some insane rulings over and over again in my case.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So I mean,
I've
I
seen old
remember just
judges do
thinking like,
this.
this guy shouldn't be a fucking judge. And
Ugh.
he was 85 fucking years old. He was too fucking old to be a judge.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is 98. This lady's Alan
98.
Greenspan age.
All right, I'm just going to go out there and say, ain't no one 98 years old who's qualified to be a judge.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
it's
don't
just true. No human being. I have known. I knew a lady. She was 102. She was great. She was sharp. She
Right,
couldn't.
right,
She couldn't have been a judge. There's no way
right. Like,
because
you
the
might be great for
workload
your
is like
age.
it's your workload. It's your physical energy that
You
has to
you
be
might be
tip
great.
top.
She says that
Mentally, you can
she's
still be
mentally
smart.
sharp.
Yeah,
Yeah, she might be great
but you're
for
going to be
her
tired.
age. That's the caveat, is great for your age, but
Yeah,
not, are you holding up sufficiently for your job? That's a different question. So,
right. Exactly.
ugh.
That's exactly the question of the hour.
And
Right.
real quick before we do the last story, Ted, this is something that might concern you or be interesting for you. The Supreme Court, since we're talking about the Supreme Court restores conviction in 1979 murder of Aton Patz, Pedro
Mm.
Hernandez, convicted in 2017 of kidnapping and murdering the 6-year-old boy. But an appeals court, which this lady is a judge in, appeals court in July had said Mr. Hernandez was entitled to a new trial. But Supreme Court says, Hmm.
There's a lot of problems with this case.
Yeah.
The body
Uh,
was never found. Um, I
what a
mean,
sad case. I've read it, and like
yeah,
I mean, back in 1979, I don't know, 8-ton Pats. So there you go. Like, I don't know. This guy just decided to volunteer to say, I killed Aton.
yeah. I mean, he may have, but I mean, it's just not. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Well, no new trial for him. All right. Last story.
I love this story. Why does humanity keep turning left? If you've ever run on a track, skated at a rink, watched a horse race, or attended NASCAR, you've probably seen the same thing happen over and over. Everyone goes counterclockwise. It seems arbitrary. Someone had to pick a direction and the world just stuck with it. But scientists aren't convinced that's the whole story. For centuries, humans have organized all sorts of activities around left turns. Olympic running tracks go counterclockwise. So do horse races, speed skating competitions, roller derbies, and most stock car races. Even many pedestrian flow studies have found people naturally drifting into leftward circulation patterns. Why? One theory comes down to dominance. Roughly 90% of people are right handed. Many are also right leg dominant. During a left hand turn, the stronger right leg often does more of the pushing and stabilizing work. Over time, that might make counterclockwise movement feel slightly more natural and efficient for large groups of people. The brain may also play a role. Some studies suggest people have subtle directional biases when navigating space, though the evidence is mixed and far from definitive. What's fascinating is that these preferences seem to appear across completely different activities. Track athletes, racehorses, roller skaters, NASCAR drivers aren't following the same rule book because they copied one another, but they all end up moving in the same direction. Ancient Roman chariots races often ran counterclockwise. Medieval tournaments frequently favored leftward turns. By the time modern sports began formalizing rules in the 19th and 20th centuries, counterclockwise movement was the default. Is it biology, culture, tradition, or some combo of all three? Who friggin' knows? This is, by the way, not to be confused, Manila, with the phenomenon of like given a choice to go left and right, for example, at the movie theater. Which direction are you most likely to go? My dad taught me when I was a kid at the movies. He was a big movie buff. Always go left. Most people go right, and that's true. Most people do tend to.
Hmm.
So there's more seats to the left, usually. So, but that's not the same thing. But it's turning. I mean, I suspect there's some copycat patterns. Like if, like you did, you know, racing by foot counterclockwise in ancient times, and then you're like, hey, we could race camels too. It would stand to reason that you're going to be
You
thinking
just
like,
keep
oh,
going in that. Yeah.
do it the same way. Yeah.
I never thought about that until I read this, and I was like, I guess you do. Yeah. If you're going to your left, if you're going counterclockwise and most of us are right handed,
Hmm.
footed, that pushing off with your right foot, yeah, you don't want to lean in on your right foot
Right.
because it's the strong foot. So I guess that
Hmm.
makes sense. But I never thought about it until this. And which is weird because the BBC called this anti-clockwise, but that would mean you hate clockwise. You
It's
call
just
it counter.
it's counterclockwise. I used to, by the way, if you have this discussion with anyone who's like dyslexic or ADHD, they do not fucking care. It's so hard to communicate. Like for example, my wife would say like, oh, like which way does the shower work? Like in this hotel or whatever, and I'd say, oh, it's turns counterclockwise, turns it on,
Counter.
and she'd be like she would literally say, but from which direction are you facing it? I'm like, well, I mean, you're
Huh?
not inside the wall, so there's
And you're
only
not you
one.
don't have your back to the
Right.
faucet.
Yeah, there's only
So,
one way, right? But yeah.
huh. Well,
A lot of
okay,
people don't get a lot of people don't
barring
get
that.
are you one of those? I mean, you must not be one of those people. A lot of people don't get
No.
north Cartesian coordinates like northeast, southwest. They don't understand them. Like,
Oh,
I'll be
no,
like,
no,
"Oh,
I'm
it's,
good with
2
that.
blocks north and 1 block east." They'll be like, I can't I can't even," like,
No, no,
so
no, I don't no, I'm good with directions.
yeah.
I navigated through the whole United Arab Emirates before they had street names.
Oh god. Oh, well, oh, b any street names or, like, written in Arabic?
They had one street name, Sheikh Zayed Road. Everything else was, okay. You take Sheikh Zayed Road and you exit at the building, the Jumbo Electronics building, and you go straight through 2 roundabouts, and then you turn left at the old man at the camel with the camel. You turn left
That's
there.
what Tokyo used to be like. I don't know if it still is. Tokyo used to be like you'd see an address, right? And it would be like, but the truth was that like there'd be the main address for like that subway stop, and you'd get out. But the building that you wanted, you kind of had to ask someone, "Where is this?"
Yeah. Yeah, there were no formal, because there's no mail delivery system back then. There was no, like, I live at 123 Sunshine Lane, right? There wasn't that back
Right.
then.
Uh huh.
So it was one street was based off the main drag, Sheikh Zayed Road, that went through all the Emirates, and you can go straight into Abu Dhabi, and everything was based on that. So getting directions was literally like I explained. Take Sheikh Zayed Road towards Abu Dhabi, take the exit by the Jumbo Electronics building, and then go through this many roundabouts straight. Then you get to the fourth roundabout, and then you take the first right, and then go past the old man with the camel that sits there at the corner with oranges. And then you, that's how it was. And I hated that because I'm somebody that needs, like, I'm good with cardinal directions, and I'm good, like, I'm good with coordinates and stuff. Like, I don't get lost very easily. And I hate to say it, but I know, like, a lot of women don't like that. A
Yeah.
lot of women like the descriptive,
Yeah.
turn here. And
Yeah. Women like turn
I
left
don't
at the
care.
church. Look for the
I can do
dairy
both,
queen. Yeah.
but I prefer, like, the more scientific coordinates of, like, where I'm going, and then I'll figure out the rest. But
Well,
anyway,
that's been it's
um,
by the way, there was a fascinating study a number of years ago about rats running mazes. Male and female rats run different kinds of mazes, but equally efficiently. But male rats run traditional mazes more efficiently than female rats. In other words, if it's just a bunch of right angles, the male rat will figure out the maze. The girl rat might be a little confused. But if the maze is either traditional or like harder because it's rounded
hmm,
mazes are harder. But if it has like landmarks, like a stripe of red or a picture of an apple or something,
interesting.
the girl rat is more efficient than the male rat.
Well, one thing's for sure, Ted. The girl rat is not embarrassed to ask for help and directions.
The girl rat's willing to pull over to the gas station and say,
Just saying.
"Where's this?" And
That's right. Just
my
saying.
dad was like that. I remember my dad driving me on a road trip
We gotta
somewhere
go, by the
in
way.
Appalachia, like in Tennessee, and driving around the same mountain over and over, and I'd be like, and it's like,
Look, kids, Big Ben.
should we stop? Exactly. There's Parliament. Yeah, it was. Oh my god, it was just like, dude, and he just wouldn't
That
ask for
reference
directions.
that reference should tell people our age group, "Look,
Totally.
kids, Big Ben."
Yeah.
So if you don't
No,
know,
remember, it's like,
go
there's
look it up.
Parliament. There's Big Ben. There's Parliament.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Have a good start of your week, Griswolds. Thank you,
See
everybody.
you tomorrow.
Bye. See
Oh,
ya. Bye.